This is a quick video to show how to install the neck and the headstock hardware on a Fender type bass guitar. This same type of hardware is also found on many generic plain or unbranded bass guitars. I had taken the neck off of this bass so I could apply some polyurethane. It appeared that the body had plenty of polyurethane on it, but the neck and the headstock had little. The bass was very inexpensive and it says it's a Fender, and although it is styled after a Fender type bass, I very much doubt that it is. Anyhow, I sanded the back side of the neck where it attaches to the body of the bass so that it wouldn't leave a void or space between the neck and the body. Of course, this was after applying some coats of polyurethane and letting them dry. This sometimes takes a while and you just have to keep sanding until it fits. Mine was not perfect, but it was good enough for this bass guitar. After placing the neck in the hollow of the body, I placed the neck plate on the back of the bass and screwed in the 4 screws. Obviously, it would be harder if you had to drill the holes first. I've never done that myself, and I don't know if there's a particular way of doing that. Oh, by the way, I'm not a bass player either, so please don't ask me anything about playing a bass. I only use one to make a few notes to back up the music I make. If you're interested, check it out on the Untitled channel. Okay, back to the headstock. First, I inserted the ferrule. Now, mine didn't fit due to the extra layers of polyurethane that made the holes smaller. If your neck is new, you may have to make the holes a little bigger with a drill. Be careful. Last of all, I pounded my ferrules in because I knew they would fit. However, hammer at your own risk. If you miss and hit the headstock, you'll have a dent in it. A much safer way to install the ferrule, if you know it will fit with some pressure, is to stick a bolt with a couple washers on it through the ferrule, and then at the other end put a couple more washers and put the nut on, and then slowly tighten it and the ferrule will be pressed onto the headstock. The following is a quick visual aid of all the hardware that's on the headstock.
What's rough? I hope you really dig this video. Please subscribe to the Sprocket channel. Do it.
Next, we place a tuner machine frame down on the back of the headstock and line it up with the holes. Be sure to place the roller part of a tuning peg underneath the frame before you tighten the screws. If these are new frames, you'll want to take a lot of time placing them in the correct spot before screwing them on. Once you find exactly where you'd like them to be, I would press a little dot into the wood with the point of a screw to show where they should go, and then either make a very tiny drill hole there or screw them in slowly and carefully without a pre-drilled hole. Next, and this is important, if your tuning machine came with this washer type piece of metal that I'm showing here, I'm not sure of the name of it. I wish I knew it, but I don't. Be sure to use it in the manner that I am showing. The little bent end is placed upward under the roller and it keeps the roller tight upon the sprocket. Depending upon how the frames are configured, your tuners may not need these. However, if it comes with them and you fail to use them, then your tuning roller and sprocket will be sloppy and may not work. Now, once the ferrule and the frame is installed, we're going to push a tuning post through the front of the headstock through the ferrule. Next, on the back side of the headstock, place the round sprocket with the extra lip or crown facing downward onto the tuning post, or I should say over the tuning post, because the one end of the tuning post goes through the sprocket and is fitted in a specific manner so that when the sprocket turns, it will turn the tuning post. Finally, using the large screw, screw the sprocket into the tuning post until it is tight. Now, before we place strings on these, we would normally add some grease all the way around the sprockets and grease it up good, then wipe off any extra. The reason I am not greasing my tuners is because I can see and feel grease that is still on them from previous use. If you don't have any grease, Vaseline may work until you can get some real grease. If they are new and bone dry, the teeth may break off of the sprockets, and you'll be mad and think that they are cheap, etc., etc.
Just click here to subscribe to the Psychoto channel. Well, what are you waiting for? Subscribe already. Why don't you?